Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin Roll Coin channel. And we're going to take a look at some United States quarters in this video. And we're going to start right here with the 1926 Standing Liberty quarter. You see Liberty's standing here facing to the right. These really wore out pretty quickly. This is a 1926. We tip it up and we see that it's fully silver. And of course on the back it says United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, in quarter dollar down here with an eagle in flight. In 1932, they decided to change this. And the reason they wanted to change it was the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington. So we see it says, "In God We Trust," across here. And they said, we should put George Washington on the front of a quarter. And so they had a competition to see who would get to design the front of the quarter. And it was the quarter design competition came down to two different engravers. One was John Flanagan, and you can see a JF on the bottom of this coin. If we tip it way up high, there's a JF right there. And John Flanagan, as you know, won it. And so from 1932 to 1998, it was this image on the front of the coins. But there was another image that they looked at, and this is that image here. And that's George Washington facing to the right. Now this was the design of a female designer, Laura Garden Fraser, LGF, you can see right there. And so in 1932, she put out this design as an option, and John Flanagan put out this design engraving as an option. And the Secretary of Treasury, I believe, chose the John Flanagan design. More on this coin later, and you can see it's a 2022. So we'll put that at the bottom of the pile because that's the most recent one. So in 1932 to 1964, there were 90% silver quarters. In 1964, that was the last year that they made it out of silver. So we'll take a look at this and we'll see. Yep, there we go. So this is straight silver. And I want to show you the initials of John Flanagan because we can show you exactly where they were on this coin. Let's get it a little bit higher. You see there's a J and an F right there. So John Flanagan designed this coin in 1932, designed and engraved. And it lasted like this through 1964 as a silver coin, and then it moved in 1965 to a copper nickel clad copper. We see it there, and we look down here, we still see the J and the F down here. But you notice it's the same exact design. So they just took the same exact engraving and put it on the copper nickel coin. So they didn't change it at all. And so that stayed the same until 1999 when they came out with a new front, which they put on the state quarters. And in 1999, they came out with this front, which is, it says United States of America at the top. You can see it's quite a bit different. Washington still facing to the left. Liberty under his chin instead of God We Trust, and God We Trust behind him. And then quarter dollar down here. You see there's no date on the ones after 1998. The 1999 ones don't have a date. There's a Philadelphia mint mark. Of course, in 65, there's no mint marks on any coin, so this one won't have a mint mark. If we tip it up, we can see that it is the copper nickel clad copper. And then this one is one of many that they made. They made the State Series, and then they made the America the Beautiful Series, which is this one. You see this is a 2020. So where are the initials on this one? Well, there's something interesting on here. When they made the state quarters, they put two different initials down here. They put a WC and they put a JF. And as you can see, the JF, when they went to the America Beautiful quarters, they went straight back to the JF. So this is back to the old straight John Flanagan here without William Cousins on it. They kept that coin. This is 2020. They kept that coin in 2021 also with a new back, and this is the Tuskegee Airmen. They fought two wars, 2021. That says Alabama over here. It says E pluribus unum on this side. And of course, this is a copper nickel clad copper. So they went to that, and then they came out with another series. And this is the one just from last year. They went back to the regular George Washington, back to the original one in 2021. You see the D over here for Denver. And of course, this is a copper nickel clad copper. And they made a new coin, and that is the George Washington crossing the Delaware quarters. And now I think you see what we're going to get to here. George Washington crossing the Delaware quarter right here. And that lasted only for a year. And they, in 2022, they came out with a new design. And what's interesting about the new design is that the new design is an old design. This design right here was originally engraved in 1931 and 32 to try to win the contest to see who would be on the Washington coin. So in 1932, John Flanagan made this design, face to the left. Laura Garden Fraser made this design. This is a 1932 engraving that Laura Garden Fraser did. And you see it's Washington, but he's facing to the right. So they pulled back and you can see the initials of Laura Garden Fraser down here, right underneath. There's a LGF right there. Now, of course, since Laura Garden Fraser died a long time ago, there was a little bit of help with this coin. And this particular coin, Laura Garden Fraser engraved it. And on the back, we have, and Samaya Angelou coin, we have the Craig Campbell, and it's CAC there, and Emily Damstra, and I think it's ESD here for Emily Damstra, did the back. But this is essentially the 1932 design back on a coin. It's not the first time that they've had this design of Washington, however. In 1999, they made this design on the gold $5 coin. So if you can afford a gold $5 coin from 1999, which is about $500 just in bullion, and I think so it probably goes for $1,000 or more. The 1999 U.S. gold $5 coin. They do have this design on that gold coin, but it hasn't been on the quarter ever, and it was designed in 1932, and it was one of two that they chose as possible replacements for the Standing Liberty quarter, and they ended up going with John Flanagan. And then 90 years later, in comes Laura Garden Fraser's design again. Just a great Washington design. And you can see it's significantly different, the way that they do the hair, the way that he faces, this almost like a laureate kind of here with the wig, and this wig curls up. All right, that's all we have today from DC Coin World. We hope you enjoyed our look at the Washington quarters. And if you have any suggestions, please put them in the suggestions. And we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and watch our other videos.